Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars universe seems to be quite expansive, not just with their books, novels, comics, and video games, but also, let's not forget about the new Star Wars TV shows, movies, and everything that's else in the works by Disney and Lucasfilm to really fulfill the Star Wars franchise and to keep George Lucas's vision intact. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you also very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about the Disney Star Wars universe is that a lot of Star Wars fans are beginning to realize that everything related to Kathleen Kennedy has been very much subpar. Everything that she touches really isn't all that great and in touch with the vision of George Lucas. I mean, we saw what happened with the sequels, we saw what happened with the box office results for Solo, and we also saw what happened with the Kenobi TV series of how the story shifted pretty drastically from what they had planned with the trilogy of movies all the way dwindled down to a TV show. Now, I digress because things really are beginning to change here with, of course, Lucasfilm as a company and what, of course, Ewan McGregor had to say about everything related to the Kenobi TV series and specifically about the fan backlash and more is actually quite surprising. Now, before I get to that, I just want to bring up one more thing fast, is that we already know that Hayden Christensen, alright, he actually has been getting a lot of offers from Lucasfilm, a lot of new TV shows within the Star Wars world that's really gonna allow him to experiment with the character of Darth Vader and Anakin Skywalker further in all these different Star Wars TV shows, so at least we have that as well. Now, on top of all of this, alright, this is where things begin to escalate quite quickly, is that with, of course, both Ewan McGregor and Hayden signed on for multi-show contract deals with Lucasfilm. Currently, Hayden is beginning to work on a very exciting role for the Ahsoka series that will be announced in the next couple of months. However, recently, Ewan McGregor was questioned about the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series and the fan backlash, and what he had to say. Now, McGregor stated the following to the fans: "I am very well aware about the fan reception for our show, and it just broke me to the core. I can't help but apologize to all the fans around the world if they think that we did something wrong. I truly am sorry, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I feel somewhat responsible given I was executive producer, but everyone needs to understand that all the creative choices were not on my control. But if I did do anything wrong with the creative choices I really do apologize. Listen, I mean, this is just how the film industry works. You try things and sometimes things don't go the way that you want, which is the sad truth. I would have loved to have done so many different things with this show, and I am thankful that I was able to return. But we are having some exciting conversations about our characters returning that I can't get into right now. We had so many deleted scenes that we could have worked with that was out of my control to use, sadly. There was only so much I could do or was allowed to do as an executive producer, but we had so much to spare. We could have easily created another 3 episodes for this season, and I hope that fans get to see that deleted footage someday because we had some pretty impressive stuff for the community to see. In the end, I believe that we could have done a ton better if we were allowed to use that footage, but Kathleen Kennedy wanted to stick with a certain vision to shift away from Stewart's layout of the Kenobi story. You see, originally Stewart had this whole Kenobi trilogy planned, and an entirely different story for Reva, and I just wish that we stuck with the original story for Reva, and I do apologize if fans did not like the outcome for that character and how things concluded with her. Now, before I get on to the next stuff of what Ewan McGregor had to say about Obi-Wan Kenobi, is that yes, it is true that Stuart Beatty, or Stuart Beatty actually is how you pronounce it, I believe, actually had a very detailed vision of the Kenobi series. I don't know if you guys knew this, but originally Stuart, what he wanted to do was that he wanted Reva to be killed off by the hands of Darth Vader at the very end of the show. There was an outline that Reva was supposed to actually break, where she was about to destroy a young Luke Skywalker with the lightsaber, and she decided not to. And to cover her tracks, she wanted to make it out that she killed Kenobi, that she destroyed Luke, basically, in secret. and that there was some kind of secret there that she kept away from Darth Vader. You know, basically she lied to Darth Vader that she destroyed Kenobi and another Jedi in the making. And that's where things went sour for her. That's where Vader searched her feelings. She knew that she was lying, and that she was holding some major secret that Kenobi was holding. And that, of course, was Luke. Not that Vader knew who Luke was, but that Vader knew that something significant was up on, you know, somewhere in the galaxy. That was Stewart's vision. And honestly, that was a more complex ending to the Kenobi story, if you will. So, moving forward from all of that, alright, Ewan McGregor goes on to say, "I'm just glad to be back and glad that Hayden is back, and how there are endless possibilities for us in the future. It truly is going to be quite the experience. You see, originally we had 3 fights set up for both Kenobi and Vader. We intended to have a battle on Fortress Inquisitorius that were partially filmed, and it was a very intense battle where I had to actually fall into the ocean or something that we filmed in a very large tank. But Kathleen Kennedy felt that 3 duels was way too much and decided to cut things down to 2. I was disappointed, however, with this decision on their end, and not by my choice to take out the Duel of the Fates theme. We had a beautiful revision by John Williams that I think we used in one of the trailers, no? I mean, it was stunning and really set the mood for Star Wars, and, well, unfortunately things changed." So, before we get on to the next stuff here, is that Ewan McGregor is just apologizing for no reason. He has no reason to apologize, because let's face it, yes, he was an executive producer for many of the episodes, but they only have so much creative power and so much creative pull, you know, that they're allowed to do. So it really was all Kathleen Kennedy at the end of the day. It seems like that Ewan McGregor's trying to take the fall for this, of what Kathleen Kennedy did to the Kenobi series, which is entirely not the case. It was not Ewan McGregor's fault. He feels that way from what it seems, from what he said here. Either he's being forced to say this or he's genuinely saying this, I'm not quite sure, but it really seems like that we could have gotten a far superior story for the Kenobi series if they just stuck with Stuart Beatty's vision of the Kenobi TV show, or the Kenobi trilogy, I should say, that could have just been transferred over to the TV series. There was an endless amount of possibilities there that they could have pulled from. Now, here's the real kicker, is that Ewan McGregor briefly admitted that, you know, he's very well aware that the whole Reva situation is out there, and he himself even wanted the original outcome for Reva. He actually wanted the Reva death to actually happen in the Kenobi series, and honestly, that's what everybody wanted, because it only makes sense. And I know I pointed this out several times, I get that, but let's not forget the fact here that Vader knows, that Reva knows, that he is Anakin Skywalker. Just let that sink in for a moment. Why would Vader let somebody like that live? And even Kenobi said that to Reva. You know, Vader would want that hidden. Basically, that scene in and of itself contradicted of what happened at the very ending of episode 5. So, overall, you know, guys, let me know what you all have to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.